You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Ray Donovan After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Ray Donovan After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Ray Donovan. This is Season 1, Episode 9, Road Trip. I am your host for the evening, Anna Koppel, and with me
is the co-host, Sean O.
And we are down Cornelia this evening, but she's with us in spirit, always.
She is, and
always.
and I'm sure we'll be happy to have her back next week.
2 weeks from now. 2 weeks, everybody. Showtime is taking next week off for the holiday.
That's right.
So are we, because we wouldn't have much to say.
Indeed.
Right. So we'll see if we have anything to say this evening. Anyway, such a great episode. So good.
Agreed. This is the best episode of the season so far, and it went off with a bang.
It went off with, well, it started out.
Okay, it started out slow.
We're going to start out with a bang, though.
We are.
Indeed. Right now. Here it goes. Are you guys ready? A lot of false starts here. But so Van Miller's dead.
Yeah, which is a huge thing. I'm glad this FBI/Hitler wannabe dude is gone.
He's a jerk. He
was a jerk. He was an anal retentive freak. It was so funny because I told you I love his mustache. It just makes him look like so much more of a douchebag because he's got that thing on him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the way it went down, and I felt while they were in in his like weird basement, and they were re-listening to the conversation that had been taped between Mickey and Sean Walker. You know, Mickey had like this just like look on his face that he was not happy.
He was like, "What am I doing? I'm a snitch. I'm becoming a rat." And I'm sure that's something that he would hate, of course, you know, because he's been in prison for so long. And he just strikes me as that kind of guy who doesn't want to rat people out.
Right. And
he'll exploit people, but he's not going to rat people out.
Right. And especially, you know, for as terrible as his relationship with Ray is, he's not trying to send Ray to prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
That's not.
He doesn't want that. He knows what it's like to be in prison.
Right.
And he does not want that to happen to Ray, I'm sure.
Right.
He sees his grandchildren. He sees his daughter-in-law, and he doesn't want their family to be destroyed. You know, like, this was the first episode where I actually really like Mickey, and I like what he's doing now. I don't feel like he has... I feel like he has a lot of anger and angst in him from what happened. You know, he's just been stewing in him for 20 years, right?
Of course.
But I don't feel like he wants bad for Ray. He doesn't want some kind of tragedy to befall Ray's family, like what happened to Mickey.
Right. I totally agree. So, and what's interesting is the thing that made him agree to go with Van Miller in the first place was Van Miller was like, how stupid are you? Do you actually think he's going to make your movie? He's just stringing you along to get you to shut up. And so he had this moment, and I think that's like a real just sort of inferiority complex on his part. Like, oh, like, how could I have been that dumb? And
Van Miller you're right, he does have an inferiority complex because he's working alone. Everybody above him in the FBI, I'm sure, takes the credit for everything he does. So he's this overachieving, like, bookworm in a way. He's like doing all of his studies, and he wants to show up everybody who's been taking the credit. And he really reveals that at the end, I feel, of the episode, when he says that everybody's lazy and these people are the ones who get their names all over the big cases. No, I want that. And that's where we really get to see his drive, his motivation for what he really wants. I thought he was just doing the good thing, you know, like, oh, I want to put these guys behind bars because they're bad. No, he's doing it because it's like he wants to be in the spotlight as well.
Right. I was actually saying Mickey's inferiority complex, but I totally agree with you on that. I mean, 100%. But when Mickey realizes that Sean does want to make his movie, everything's changed.
Yeah.
He's so excited.
It's really exciting. And he really, like you said, Anna, when we were listening with Mickey to the tape, it was just so damning, and the way it sounded was so bad. You know, like I could see like some parts could be ambiguous. It's like, oh, come on, he's talking about the plot in the movie, but it really, when he listened to it too, he was like, man, I made him say that, and it just sounds so bad.
Right.
And he just felt a lot of remorse. You could see it on his face, just like dripping across him like sweat. You know.
Right. And yeah, but I love the scene. I really loved Mickey in this episode too, I guess. I'm just realizing now. But when they were talking about the movie and he was like, so the innocent Bostonian, is that what he said? Like walks across, and he was like, just like I wrote it.
Yes.
It's just like what I said. He's like, so you like it? So he's just getting so excited, and I like Mickey. I like Mickey in
Me
this
too.
episode.
Like I don't want him to die anymore. Like this, the whole season so far for our shows, I've been saying Mickey's gonna die. He's gonna die. He's a douchebag. He's gonna die. You know, he's just he's making trouble for everybody. He's extorting people. But now I don't want him to. Just this one thing has redeemed him in my eyes.
Yeah, and I think there was a slight turn for Ray as well, even though he still met up with Sully and was like, you know, here are your guns and here's your car. But when he was talking to Connor, he's like, so you really like him, huh? So he's like, yeah, he's fun and he talks to me. And so I think it's kind of sinking in finally for Ray. Oh, my grandchildren actually love this man.
Yeah.
So we'll see if maybe he calls off that hit.
Right. I really liked, well, the getting back to that whole scene in the basement with Mickey and Van Miller. The whole time when we see like Mickey getting remorseful look on his face, I'm thinking to myself, well, you brought up something actually that was really interesting. You said that what did you think that he was going to do to Van Miller's tapes?
Oh, I thought he was just gonna like grab the tapes when he realized that he was the only one who knew about it, that his boss didn't know, that it was just him. I thought he was just gonna grab the tapes. But...
Yeah, what even if he did do that, if Mickey did take the tapes from Van Miller, what could Van Miller do? He's in it all alone. He's already a laughingstock of the agency, because of the bureau, because everybody looks down on him, and they saw him looking around like a crazy person. Frank, one of the FBI agents above him, knows that he's got like that trip on LSD that he has. You know, what could Van Miller really do? But Mickey went that extra step, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna off this guy right here, and he shot him. And his blood spattered all over his diagrams that he had of Ray's gang, and down he goes into a pool of his own disgusting beer-ridden blood.
Now, what do you think is going to happen? Because Ray blackmailed Frank into going to the bosses with his LSD hair and the tapes and everything. So what do you think is going to happen now?
Holy crap, I didn't even think about that. Okay, so Ray's forced Frank to do this. Now everybody's going to be looking into Van Miller. They're going to find him dead in his basement, and then there's going to be a full-on investigation. There's no way Mickey is smart enough to... Well, Mickey doesn't even know that any of this is going on. I almost called him Ricky for a second. Yeah. But he doesn't even know any of this is going on Ray's end. So this, right. in a way, Ray's actually damning himself with that move, not even knowing it.
Right. So they're going to come down. There's like this wall of people...
The superiors with they're gonna clearly look into all these people,
of course.
Ray included, but I don't think Frank's gonna be able to make this go away now, because Frank's been able to push it away for so many years. Ray's been paying him off. Frank even tried to get Ray in prison before, and it didn't work out. But now that there's an FBI agent dead over this instead of in somebody's pocket, it's gonna be a big deal.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, that got really complicated.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And it's so funny because Ray and Mickey, in a way, they're kind of looking out for each other. Well, I feel like Ray's looking out for himself, and Mickey's looking out for Ray. And now they're both going to be screwed in the end because of the move each other did. It would have been, each move alone would have been okay.
Right.
But because they did these in tandem, they screwed each other.
Right. Right. Well, I don't know. You guys let us know what you think. Comment. iTunes. We love getting 5 stars. We love your YouTube comments. I think Oh Martha and I have made up, which makes me very happy. So, but yeah, please go to YouTube and go to iTunes and give us 5 stars and comment. Let us know what you think. And
they could also, while they're on the iTunes store, they can go ahead and type into the search bar Serial Buddies, and guess what comes up? This awesome independent film, awesome comedy slasher film. It's Serial Buddies. It's written and directed by Kevin Undergaro, starring Maria Menounos. It's got Christopher Lloyd, Christopher McDonald, Artie Lang, Kathy Lee Gifford. So many cameos by stars that make this film just like an awesome cockamamie adventure. And it's pretty much like Dexter. We love Dexter.
We do love Dexter.
And it's like Dexter and Dumb and Dumber mixed together. So if you guys want to help, you know what, support us at AfterBuzz TV. It helps us keep the lights on. And it's a call to arms for you guys, our fans, to go ahead and help us out with that. It's seriously $4.99 to download it, and it's an amazing film. You guys will laugh your butts off. Have some drinking games to it. Every time you hear a kazoo, try that.
Every time you hear a kazoo,
you'll enjoy it.
Do it. Prove it. All right. So, poor Avi dealing with Sully and this woman.
We found out her name was Catherine finally.
Catherine, yeah. Ugh. I'm glad she's gone. She was really irritating.
We also found out that Avi is Jewish.
Yes.
Which was very...
Speaking Hebrew and everything?
Yeah, he was like Shabbat, and
yeah.
he was talking to his mom over the phone. That was really cool because until I think this whole time, the whole season, I'm thinking Avi's like Russian or something, but he's apparently Jewish, and it was just really fascinating. That's an interesting piece of information, and it makes him like a lot more human to us, and he's not just this like Ray's errand boy or enforcer or whatever.
Right, yeah. So we get to hear about his mom and how she sideswiped 3 cars last month
and needs her heart medication from the pharmacy.
Yeah. Send Joey, maybe. Is that what he said? So maybe we'll learn more about whoever that is. Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting to know more about him. I like him. I'm not thrilled that there are now 2 Jews on the show who are, I don't know, exploiting people and for all their money. I feel like it's really kind of promoting the stereotype of Jews.
You mean, you're referring to Ezra, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's me.
So. You know what's interesting though is that Avi, he strikes me as being like really like a really ethnic type Jew, like right there, indigenous, like right there from the homeland, and he's like moved over here to he's like immigrated to the United States.
Yeah, it's an Israeli accent.
Yeah, he's got a really Israeli accent, and he's like he seems like he's spent a lot more time under the sun, like maybe in battles or something over there in the homeland.
You have to join the Israeli army.
You do.
So
that's right. A lot of European countries actually, and you have to be. Usually for men, you have to be in the military to become a citizen, which is something that we take for granted here in the U.S.
Yeah. Support our troops. I don't know where this is. Anyway, but
a little background info.
Anyway, so Sully.
Back to Sully and
Catherine.
Back
to Sully and Catherine are on their way to L.A. And I love that Ray is tracking them.
That was funny.
Yeah.
You could see him like checking out his smartphone and like, oh, they're going into New Mexico now.
What was he tracking them on? Was he tracking the car or the phone or what?
I would say he's probably tracking Avi's phone. That would probably be the easiest thing to do. You can download apps and do that. Like I have this one that I use all the time, and people don't even have to have the particular app, which is funny. Like I think, okay, if you want to show people where you are, you have to have the app. But then people don't. The people you're sending it to, they can just look at you for a certain amount of time. It's called a glimpse.
Okay.
It's a very interesting app.
It's creepy. It's creepy.
It is creepy. But I'm sure that they have, like, Avi and Ray. Come on, they're professionals.
Yeah,
they're
of
like,
course.
hey, man, download this app. You know, it only costs $5 or whatever.
I'm sure they have better technology than an app.
Maybe.
I bet that they do, but
Well, for us poor people, we can download the app for a dollar or two.
we're not enforcers and we're not fixers, so
We're not fixers.
we'll send each other a glimpse, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know how it works. Anyway,
Speaking of fixing, so Avi, he had that shovel in his trunk, which came in really handy this time, right?
yeah, I know. And I love that he killed Catherine, that Sully killed Catherine without a problem. But what did you think, Sean?
I agree with you, Anna, and I thought it was such, okay, let's backtrack. So Catherine's on the phone. We see her hang up right when Sully comes in, and she's like, oh, I just knocked it off the hook, you know?
It's a liar.
Yeah, totally lying. And Sully, you know what? This scene really showed how cold-blooded a professional Sully is, and he doesn't want to get caught. You know,
Right.
This was her doing that, Catherine doing that phone call to her parents. And if anybody is tracking her parents, any FBI or U.S. Marshals or anything are tracking her parents, then they could totally get a trace. Who knows how long she was on the phone?
Right.
Probably long enough to get a trace to what state they're in, or even just recording the conversation. Oh, we're going to California, Ma, and then now they know. And it's
Right.
like, where else would he go but L.A.? Come on,
Right.
There's only a few big cities in California. There's no, he's gonna go see the Donovans with all this traffic on the Donovans side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was concerned because that was cool that he killed her, but then he just leaves her body there in the room, and I'm like, okay, if the motel people find that, that's even more of a trail, and that's gonna even get more attention.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love that he was willing to do it. I mean, you're right. Like, it's good that it wasn't left there, and that Avi happened to have a shovel with him. But I feel like it makes sense though, because it's, Boy Scoutish annoying. Be prepared. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But let's backtrack. Sully didn't want to bring her to begin with.
And she insisted.
She blew him, insisting.
And that's how he agreed to it.
Right. And he wanted her to stay and take care of his mother. So yeah, I mean, she totally was gonna blow that cover and
Blowing something else.
yeah, nice. But I loved it that he played it off so well, because she was like, oh, I just knocked it off, and he was like, oh, okay, who are you on the phone with?
Yeah, he waited like a good few seconds, and he was like putting away his stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
so who are you on the phone with? What are you talking to them about?
Yeah, did you tell them where? I might have said California. Oh, that's not so bad.
Where's the dog's leash at,
Yeah.
honey?
Yeah.
Because I want to strangle you.
Yeah.
I'm out of piano cord at the moment.
Yeah. Unbelievable. But I think he's definitely the right man for the job. I mean, if you're going to hire a hitman, he's the one to do it. He's willing to take his lady out like nothing.
You're right. And in this way, this episode, because all we saw like last couple episodes, so he's just like an old man. He's hiding out from the law. But here, this was like his interview, or his first day on the job, where you get to see if he's really worth it or not, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm scared for Mickey. Seriously, because not only does Sully hate him because he stole that money from him, but now Ray has hired him with even more money.
Yeah.
And he says, I'll move you anywhere in the world you want. I'm going to have passports. I'm going to have money, a place for you to stay. He has a lot of incentive to kill Mickey.
Yeah.
And we see that he's a cold-blooded killer, even though he's 50, 60 years old, whatever he is.
He's older than that.
Well, I think his mom was, 80-something, 90?
Avi's mom was 85.
Okay, so how old do you think Mrs. Sullivan is?
I think that she was in her 90s.
Yeah.
He's got to be in his 70s.
Yeah, maybe he's in the 70s. Yeah, he's got really white hair.
Yeah.
He's like a silverback of the Southie gang world.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But he's made it to LA, and I kind of was surprised. But I guess, he's a badass, but with Ray, he's like, listen, just because I agreed to help you does not mean that I work for you. And I have transportation covered, and I don't know.
He wanted to use his own weapons for the job.
Yeah, he's playing a little fast and loose here. I just feel like...
Yeah, I feel like the weapons could be traced back to him, too, if he used them. But who knows? Maybe he'll just get rid of it. But that totally makes sense, because as a hitman or an assassin, why go into a job using a weapon that you're not familiar with and you don't know if it's going to misfire or malfunction in some way? So it totally makes
fair.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that Sully would want to do this
Yeah,
his way.
that's fair. That's fair. I appreciate that. But I also just kind of feel like, let's have a little respect for Ray Donovan, okay? He's kind of a big deal. I don't know if you know. Whatever. Anyway, any more about Sully?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Moving on. Tommy Wheeler is such a disaster.
Apparently he married his tranny girlfriend, Chloe,
who we met and knew, who I guess has not gotten her gender reassignment surgery yet.
Not yet.
That Ray gave her the money for.
Or she could have, and they'd still just call her a she-male, he-she, whatever they refer to her as.
Well, it would make sense, though, because I think you have to take hormones for a long time first, right?
Well, they would still prefer, like, everybody's still going to call her a tranny. They're not going to ever call her a woman, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's always going to stick with you. You're like, she was born a man, so there's still, like, everybody to put her down, to debase her, they're always going to keep calling her that, right?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's sad, though, if that's true.
But speaking of the people that called her that, we get to meet Marty for the first time.
Yes.
Who's, I guess he's a reporter?
Yeah.
And his bodyguard, Chip.
Yeah, and we only know Chip because we do subtitles here and say why, because Sean really liked it, so.
So right when Ray he runs over Chip in the garage, and we didn't know his name at the time, but after it goes back to Ray in the car and you hear Chip like crying out in pain, it says in the captions in parentheses, Chip sobbing.
Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah.
Best line ever. Seriously, that's the only reason why captions are good on this show.
Yeah. And I wonder if he was actually named or if whoever was doing closed captioning was like, he looks like a Chip to me. So.
I think they did say his name, but we just were not paying attention to it. Or they said it like really fast or
maybe.
something. But Chip, awesome name for that buff bodybuilder type bodyguard.
Yeah. Oh, they did say it. You're right.
I think Lena mentioned it or something, or they mentioned it to Lena.
Yeah, no, I think Ray said, he's like, I met him, Chip, whatever. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, Chip sobbing. Anyway, so Tommy, he's a mess. He's a hot mess. And put his penis in a girl's hand at a bar, I mean.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't even know what that bar
Cat in the Fiddle.
Cat in the Fiddle, yeah, that place that we were talking about.
Yeah.
That makes me want to go there now. I want to see if it's really like that on the inside.
I've only eaten on the patio.
So he's at the Chateau Marmont first, getting drunk and having this alcohol, sex-filled orgy with people there. Like, people are stepping all over each other, right? And who knows what kind of drugs he did the night before.
Right.
But he's still
drinking whiskey from the bottle.
Exactly. He's swigging it, and then Ray's pissed at him and says, "Hey, you gotta take my son. My son's giving me a hard time. Connor's giving me a hard time. Take him out."
Yeah.
And Ray has to now at the Cat in the Fiddle, Ray's gotta totally cover for him and paying off the ladies, paying off the women hundreds of dollars. Probably gave him a couple $1,000 just to keep their mouths shut.
How much do you think Ray carries on him at cash?
Dude,
at any given time?
I would say probably close to 10 grand.
I was thinking 10 grand. That was the number in my mind as well.
Yes, high five.
Yep. We are friends. Anyway, Sean, I think I high five with you more than anybody else in my life.
Good.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm glad.
High fiving's fun. It's a human connection.
It is a human connection.
Especially for coworkers, we should do it more often.
We should. I'm totally thrown off now. Okay, so
Tommy Wheeler's a mess.
So Tommy Wheeler's a hot mess.
And hot because he's taken off his shirt because he's so drugged up from the last night. His body temperature's all skyrocketed.
Yeah. Like, where's your shirt, Tommy? I don't know. Do you have any idea how many drugs I did last night? Ugh. And I guess it's age appropriate that Connor's being such a little jerk to Ray.
Yeah. He's being a little bit rebellious, like, Dad, you're not giving me what I want. Come on, man, you promised.
But he wants to go to the Kids' Choice Awards, so, I mean...
That is kind of funky. Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, aren't the kids like teenagers too? Like going to the kids awards?
I don't know.
It was funny because it's obviously a play on the Nickelodeon's Kids Choice Awards, but it's just called the Kids Awards 2013.
Right.
I think I make it all generic.
Yeah.
But we know what it really is.
We know what it is. You're not fooling anybody, Showtime. But you know, I think Ray wants to make nice with both of the kids. Did you notice though, last episode Connor wasn't in the episode, and this time Bridget wasn't?
There wasn't enough in the budget for 2 children.
I know, what's going on?
There's no Marvin Gaye Washington this time either.
Right, yeah. Well, he was, you know, he's back in Compton now, and he's making his YouTube rap videos. But, do they have a fight on set or something? They can't be on the same set now. I just don't understand. Anyway, but I like that Ray finally did. Like, all right.
He did good by his son.
Yeah.
And he told him to go to his personal tailor. And his son looked, seriously, the way he was
Exactly
dressed,
like
he
him.
looked exactly like the same outfit.
Yeah.
And that was so, I thought that was a good, like, fatherly moment, like him putting his tie or tying his son's tie.
I was like tearing up during that moment. It was so sweet.
It was sweet. I only hope that someday I can do that to my future sons, but I need to practice because I have no idea how to put a tie on somebody else. It's so bad. I have to do it on myself and then put it on somebody.
Yeah, that's
So
okay too.
Ray must have good practice.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he's always fixing up other people, so.
I guess so. He's a babysitter.
Yeah.
He was babysitting Tommy Wheeler this whole freaking time.
All day. All day. And he has so many people just on call. Like, I need a guy that has every kind of guy, you know? Call in a doctor to hook him up to fluids and niacin and
Yeah.
whatever else.
And when he did that, Tommy Wheeler said he had a wicked erection.
Yeah. He has some serious issues. Serious issues. And then he's like massaging, I can never remember her name. Lena, thank you.
He can't control himself. He is always coming on to women, no matter what. And maybe that's why it's so easy for him to hit on women. Like, even Lena, she's gay. But she's like, oh, wow, that feels good. You can tell she likes it. And
it was a massage. People like massages.
True that.
Okay. You could tell that she liked it.
But I feel like maybe that's why he doesn't want women, because he's so, like, it's so easy for him. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do something a little bit more difficult. I'm gonna go after somebody who's like not appropriate, and they're probably gonna be like screwing with me or like making it hard for me.
Well, I mean, he's definitely a sex addict, and I think that the more I don't know much about sex addiction, but I do know that it's, you know, typically high risk and can get increasingly depraved. So
he's trying to do things that are more and more I guess exotic, so that he can continue to get aroused, because being with just a normal woman doing missionary position or whatever just doesn't do it for him anymore.
He likes to put his penis into strangers' hands at bars.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then have them get paid thousands of dollars by Ray so they shut up about it.
Well, I'm sure that comes out of Tommy's account, but
he was gonna cut Marty a $2 million check.
yeah.
Dude, this guy does not have his head on straight.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, Ray's such a cool character. He's so, don't ever go back on a deal with me again.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Next time I kill you.
That's what I like about Ray when he's not drinking all crazy. Well, even sometimes when he's drinking crazy, he's still cool. But when he gets to that really, really low trough of his life and he's like just hitting the bar and hitting the sauce really hard, that's when he does stupid things like has sex with Ashley and
Right.
and just feels like miserable about everything, you know? This is the Ray we know and love. He's babysitting, he's protecting everybody, and he's making his family feel good at the same time.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. That is the Ray that we love. I'm done with Tommy. Are you done with Tommy?
Yeah, let's move on to Mickey.
Let's do it. Let's make this all about Mickey. yeah, I don't know that I have that much more to say about Mickey and Sean.
So yeah, we did allude to him a little bit, but let's just touch on it a little bit more because we talked about him with Van Miller at the same time.
Right.
But so pretty much Mickey's riding, and he's actually getting really into the riding.
Yeah.
And he's enjoying it, and him and Sean are like getting down in their little powwow, and they end up hugging at the end, right?
Yeah. Well, and I'm surprised that, but I don't know. I'm surprised that they're having this relationship because
he pretty much framed him. It was him and Ray that framed Mickey to go to prison.
well, they didn't frame him. Sean didn't frame him.
No, I think he did. I think he was a big part of it.
Well, he's the one who actually killed her. Oh, we need to talk about that too.
Yeah.
That he's the one who actually killed
Colleen.
Right. But Ray and Ezra are the ones who set him up, who are the ones who set Mickey up.
And by the way, if our fans don't remember who Colleen is from last time, she was alluded to in the conversation that Abby and Deb were having when they were at their luncheon, getting all drunk on their champagne before going on their little theft shopping spree.
Right. And that's Ray's girlfriend.
Ray's girlfriend that they didn't want him to be with Abby. So he kind of rebelled and he went out and he started sleeping around with this other girl, Colleen. They alluded to her as. And now we hear this other story about Colleen where it was Sean who killed her. And so the women and the men in the situation, Abby and Deb, and Mickey, Sean, Ray, everybody else, they totally have a different story, and they probably have it more right. The men probably do because they didn't want to tell the women what really happened.
Right. Right. Of course not. Yeah, we framed somebody for murder. Yeah. Doesn't go over well with most people.
With a proposal, no.
Right. So I, for Mickey, I'm surprised that he would want to talk to a guy that he did 20 years for. And I'm surprised that Sean isn't like terrified of this guy or feel tremendous guilt around this guy. Maybe Sean feels like he owes him something.
I feel like he was terrified at first.
Okay.
But now, because he's already gotten, he said, you know what, Ray, I'm going to do it my way. You're fired. Right?
Right.
So he starts doing things his way, and they're turning out well, and he feels like he's in control of the situation more. So not only that, but he feels like he's got Mickey in his pocket now. Because he's given him this deal, he's given him money, essentially, he's paying him, and he feels like secured because this whole thing is going to be kept quiet now because he owns the rights to the story.
Right. So I hope he's being genuine.
I hope so too, but I feel like at this moment in this episode, I feel like he was. I feel like there was a genuine moment. Not general moment, a genuine moment when they gave each other that hug. It was like a really good connection, and Mickey is down with it. This is more than just like extortion now or exploitation from either side.
Right.
This feels like Mickey really wants to be a screenwriter now.
I just find that so hard to believe that I don't want to compromise myself as a screenwriter. That's just so... But he did seem to want to protect his relationship with Sean from Van Miller. Like he didn't want to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about it.
He wants to do that, and maybe more so Ray, because he knows that later on down the line, Ray is going to be more screwed over by all of this.
Right.
Because Sean's, he's a famous celebrity. There's no way they're going to put him in a prison with the general population. They would separate him from everybody else, put him in like a separate wing or isolation, or special protection, special custody. But Ray would get thrown in there with the general population because he's just a gangster.
Right.
That's all he is. He's a mobster.
Ray would be running that place in no time. He would be fine. But
maybe.
Not that we want him to be in there.
No, we don't want him to be in prison.
We don't. Yeah, that'd be a different show entirely. So we'll see. We'll see everything.
Yeah, we sure will.
Did we forget anything?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, then let's just get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
You want to start out?
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to check out my Twitter account at Sean Austino, SeanAustino, I actually tweeted out a lot of news and gossip tonight on regarding Ray Donovan. And let's start off with, we're going to be talking about Eddie Marsan, who actually plays Terry on the show, and a lot of good news concerning him. So Rotten Tomatoes tweeted, at Rotten Tomatoes, The World's End, which Eddie Marsan is starring in, he's a supporting character in the movie. I'm sure he does a great job. And The World's End, movie Eddie Marsan is in, hashtag certified fresh at 93% with 107 reviews, and there's a little link there if you guys want to check that out. So that's great. It's 93%. That's the highest rated movie this weekend, and it just came out.
Wow.
So it's pretty much, I'm actually going to read out the tweet from Eddie Marsan. He describes it better than me. Eddie Marsan, at Eddie Marsan, EDDIEMARSAN, tweets, to all the U.S. hashtag Ray Donovan fans, hashtag The World's End opens this weekend, best described as This is 40 with robots.
That's funny.
Great description.
Yeah. That's great.
I've seen the trailer like 2 times. The trailer is so hilarious. It makes me want to watch the film. And even seeing that Rotten Tomatoes gave it such a high rating, these guys, Simon Pegg and is it Nick Frost? I think that's...
Yeah, Nick Frost. And we also just covered The World's End movie review. More so breakdown here at AfterBuzz today. So also check out the AfterBuzz at the Movies, The World's End.
That's right. You guys could download that on AfterBuzz and type in AfterBuzz TV podcast, and that should come up there too on iTunes. Additionally, Karis Dorsey, who plays Bridget on the show, young Bridget, little Bridget actually, she tweeted out, "I'm just really happy Jersey Shore is no longer a thing."
All right.
Thank goodness for that. I thought it was no longer a thing a while ago, but you know what? If we can get Karis Dorsey to reassure us, I feel even better now.
I wonder what made her think of that.
I'm also going to read out another tweet that she said. She tweeted, "Go and wish my beautiful and talented sis at Justine Dorsey a happy birthday. She's 18. Wow. That's awesome."
Now she's legally responsible if she breaks a window. Her parents don't have to pay for it. She does.
She is. So if you guys want, to tweet at Karis Dorsey and her sister, go ahead and do that. Wish her a happy late birthday. And lastly, Kate Moaning, who plays Lena on the show, she tweeted out, "Who's watching hashtag Ray Donovan this evening at show_network, 7 p.m. East Coast. My buddy at Karis Dorsey is live tweeting." So apparently she was live tweeting tonight.
Oh, man.
And I totally forgot to look at my Twitter account while we were watching the show. Damn it. Too many note taking. But
yeah.
But I'm sure we could look at her tweets and we'll see if there was anything interesting that we could talk about next week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from today.
Next week is Labor Day.
Yes.
The week after that, we'll be back. So was that everything that you...
That's all my news and gossip from the Twitter sphere.
From the Twitter sphere. Well, Liev gave like a really honest, very telling interview with Rolling Stone magazine. And he says that, he used the conflict that he has with his own father to help him build the Ray Donovan character. And apparently, you should definitely go and read the whole article. But his father kidnapped him when he was a child. When he was 3, his parents split up, and his father kidnapped him. And he has gone to therapy about it. He's in therapy about it, and he has like a lot of mixed emotions and like really hazy memory of his childhood. And
that's insanity.
Yeah, and he like hasn't dreamt in years. He hasn't had dreams, and that like really concerns him. And he says he has like these moments where he's just like so detached. He said that he was on TV, and he's like, I was on TV the other night. I was looking at the monitor, and I was thinking, oh, this is funny. I'm enjoying this right now. Where am I? And
wow.
Yeah, so like really crazy. And I just thought it was really brave of him to be so honest. So definitely go read that article.
That's so honest. It's like surreal at the same time.
Yeah, completely. So good for him. I love him. I just love him.
Go Liev.
And then in the Boston Globe, this guy is just like in love with John Voight. It's ridiculous. It was basically like a written sort of verbal blowjob that he was giving John Voight. It was, I mean, you could go read it, but he was like, yeah, Ray Donovan's great, and we're all Ray Donovan fans, but like this, and this is wrong with it. But not John Voight. He's perfect.
Oh my god.
It's kind of comical. You should maybe check it out. That's all I have. Predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I am going to predict that Mickey will actually live this season. And even though we saw him getting beat up in the teaser, I don't think he's going to die. I think Sully is going to be standing over him and something's going to happen. Like maybe Mickey's going to pull a little pistol out of his butt, or he's going to shoot. I don't know. Sully's going to die somehow.
He seems to have that gun on him.
He does. Wait. You're talking about Sully?
No, I'm talking about Mickey. He seems to have that gun on him.
Oh, that one that he threatened the girl with last time?
And the one that he shot Van Miller with this time.
That's right. Must be the same gun, right?
Gotta be. It's the same small gun. I don't know. I don't know what. A revolver? I don't know.
How the hell did Van Miller let Mickey walk around with a gun on him, especially into his place?
He didn't know. He went and grabbed him out of the gym.
That's right. But he put the microphone on him. You think he would have patted him down? What kind of an FBI agent is he?
Not a good one, which is why he gets made fun of.
And that's why he's dead.
That's why he's dead. That's why his brains are on the wall now. Yeah, so join us 2 weeks from now. Happy Labor Day next week. And that's it. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Sean Austino on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can follow me at Koppel for Mayor, KOPPELFORMAYOR. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.